Game start. High score. Mission complete. Victory.
What's up, everybody? Doc Fortune. Trying to do this stream again. We lost about an hour earlier today. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to look at the stream here and pay attention. It seems like I drop a lot of frames at the beginning of the stream. My connection's fine. I have a great gaming PC, so I'm not sure what's causing these streams to get disrupted. But I appreciate you watching along and bearing with me for just a moment here while I try to monitor this and make sure it's working okay. We've had really bad weather, and I think it's been disrupting the connections, so I'm just taking a look now to make sure we get in a good spot before I start some actual gameplay. Yeah, so we still have Mercenary to unlock. We've gotten a lot of things. We're doing okay. A lot of our challenges we were able to unlock on stream the past couple of weeks. We still have a few left. We'll take a look at those really quick right now. We want to go to challenges. So we have all these. We got to complete 20 stages in a single run. We're probably not going to do that today because I don't have infinite time. But we're going to escape the moon on Monsoon, obliterate ourselves at the obelisk. That way we can unlock Mercenary. There's a dumb thing about killing 20 hermit crabs by chasing them off the edge of a cliff. But you have to loop your run to do that anyway, I think. Or it makes it easier. You don't have to loop your run. But these crabs don't appear normally in places where you can chase them off the cliff. However, they'll be a normal enemy. If you loop your run and go back to stage 1, they'll appear there automatically. So let me make sure my connection's good. It looks like it's doing okay on the back end here. I'm just nervous because I've already done this a couple of times and lost almost the entire stream. When I went back to watch the replay, it was only about 10 minutes long. So we're going to try again. Let's see. We'll go single player. We'll make sure our difficulty's on Monsoon. We're going to go Bandit. And what we're going to try to do is run through the game. We're going to try to go through the void fields on the first level if we can, so we can get super powerful. And then, depending on how powerful we're able to get, we may loop the run. We may go for just beating Mithrix so we can get the Monsoon, escape the moon on Monsoon challenge. Yeah, so we'll play it by ear as we go, but basically we're going to take on just about every challenge that we see. For example, if we get a shrine for the Gold Coast, I'll go to the Gold Coast and we'll get Aurelian. It's pretty cool to have a giant boss monster fighting on your side, so I'll take that. I could sit here and shoot that guy in the face from the front all day, but he never would have died, so better to get behind him. Bandit does 100% critical hit from behind. Alright, we can kind of look over here and see there's not that many presents, so we're going to go up into the sky and look around. And also it'll give us better perspective if there's anything on the ground. Looks like maybe a few things. There we go. We got enough to get a couple items, and I'm sure by the time we get this, somebody else will show up to volunteer their lunch money. There we go. This is not a great item, in my opinion, because it's hard to get 4 or more debuffs on the same target. It's just, maybe it's my play style. Maybe I'm not going for the right items, but I find often that I usually do not get 4 or more debuffs to even trigger this damn thing, so I'm throwing it in the garbage. They're usually dead or... We'll take this Hellfire Tincture. We can ignite everybody with it. It's a piece of equipment anyway, a lunar piece of equipment, but if we get strong enough, it could be helpful. It ignites us, but it does like 4,000% more damage to enemies or something like that. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but even though it burns you a little bit, it burns the enemy a lot. And that's kind of the way it's going to go for lunar items. Some of them, they're all supposed to have kind of a really strong strength and then a really bad drawback, except, you know, not all drawbacks are created equal. Some of the drawbacks aren't that bad in comparison to the benefits that they give, so the items end up being really broken. I wouldn't say Hellfire Tincture is really broken. I would say it's okay, and it's a pretty good equipment if you don't have equipment, so yeah. Well, there's a good 3D printer, so we want to just get whatever we can, I guess, because we're gonna pick up some goat hooves. We're gonna go back to that recycler, and we're gonna throw away any garbage. We're gonna trade it in for goat hoofs, because being fast is about the most important thing I can imagine. I would rather be fast than anything else. And that's what the goat hoof does, makes you fast. We're also trying to find a newt altar before we leave, so we can go ahead and go to the void fields. I'm not seeing one. It could be over here on top of this hill. I don't think so, but it also could be out back behind here somewhere, so we're just gonna look real quick, make sure we're not missing it. These things have regular locations that they spawn at, and I should have them memorized by now, but I just don't. I just don't know where they all are. It has been so low on my priority list for so long that I never put in the effort to memorize it. The thing about this game is it can be really challenging to get the hang of at first, and then maybe, you know, you'll get really good with one character and you play the hell out of that character until you're able to beat the game with them, and then maybe from there you'll branch out. That's what I did. I don't know if everybody's experience is the same. So, you know, at first it can feel overwhelming to beat these bosses and stuff, and, you know, you'll die a lot. It's just part of the game. However, as time goes on, you'll kind of start to get the gist of where all the usual spots for things are, or where all the usual items go. And in fact, the newt altars do have semi-regular spawn locations. They'll generally be in, you know, one of 2 or 3 places. Some of them are easy to get to, some of them are not. Like, we're here at the exit. I'm just going to look up top on this block if I can get up there. We might have to do some tricky maneuvers, but I think we can pull it off. Don't feel like I have that many items right now. Okay, I'm going to stand at the top of this. Let's see if I can make this work. I'm going to run. Nope, didn't mean to do that. I messed it up already. I hit stealth before I hit run. Okay. So we'll climb up this, make sure we're running, jump, stealth, and then use your blade to cancel the stealth so you get a second pop. But now I'm stuck right here and it doesn't seem like I have much way to get up. So I'm going to use that same trick. I'm going to jump, stealth, use my shiv, and here's the newt altar that I was looking for. So that was worth it. And we're going to run to the exit and get the hell out of here. We don't have great items for the void fields, so hopefully this boss will drop something good. We didn't get a lot of good items on the first stage. Sometimes that can be a real detriment to completing this void field challenge. We're getting kind of overwhelmed by a bunch of guys, but this jellyfish is such a dangerous asshole that I can't really afford to mess with him that much. I have to focus on him a little bit. Get rid of the biggest target. I'm also trying to play around this terrain because it will afford me, yeah, there we go. Got some health back from that. It'll afford me, whew, I guess we leveled up, some cover from his super attack and also his regular attacks. All I have to do is stand in the shadows here. I'll be safe from this. We want to kill him before he gets a chance to do it again. This is a new item. Activating your equipment gives you a burst of speed. That's okay. That's okay. And we can do that right now. You can see this does burn damage to everybody around us. We're taking a little bit of damage, but if we had any heal items at all, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, we killed ourselves with it. So the moral of the story is, be careful with lunar items. I didn't realize that that was just going to keep going until I died. I thought I could toggle it off. So I fucking killed myself like a moron. In general, I would just say don't pick them up. They're not, like, if you're a newer player, don't pick up lunar items. They're going to completely drastically change the way that the game plays. So, like, especially if you're used to how your character plays, like, you could get some of your abilities replaced. You could have some kind of weird handicap that you're not expecting and that you maybe don't understand what it does exactly, and it can really just tank your run. If, however, you know what the lunar item does, and you know you have an idea of how you can exploit its strengths, by all means go ahead. I would just recommend that new players do not mess with the lunar items. They're just not until at least you have some kind of handle on the game that they can make it more difficult to play than the game otherwise would be. So we got this. This is a good item for the void fields. I would almost argue you can pretty much just do the void fields with just this item. But we're not going to do that. We came to get presents. That's the name of the game, so see though, just regular guys still do a bunch of trouble for us if we don't have items. That's why you want to get items. That's the name of the game. Christmas presents for the good boys and girls. All these things we're getting are just okay. I'm not thrilled about any of it. In fact, I would be pissed off if I got this bustling fungus if I weren't trying to do the void fields, because it's not a helpful item otherwise. I will use it right now though to stand still and gain some of my health back. The reason it's bad is it requires you to stand still for it to work. If you stand still in this game, there's a 99% chance you're going to die to something random. You always want to be moving. There we go. We got enough to unlock this. And it's another bustling fungus. Like I said, kind of sucks, but it's good for the void fields. It'll definitely help us recover our health between runs when we have to stop and sort of figure out where the next shrine's going to appear. You don't have to be inactive. You can see I'm standing still and firing my gun and it's still working. You just can't move for it to work. That's really the worst thing. I would much rather have it be it works while you're not firing your gun, because I can stop firing and run my ass off. We're not messing with a bunch of drones. If you notice, I'm just leaving them laying on the ground because until we do the void fields, they're going to be useless. The void fields pretty much cancels out your drones so that you don't have access to them in that other plane of existence, I guess. So, I don't really know why. Other things carry over, like your beetle guards and all that stuff, but the miasma would probably kill most of your drones anyway, and I'm guessing that that's why that they just don't show up at all. Alright, this kind of wasn't that beneficial to run over here, but at least we found out we weren't leaving anything good on the table, so I'm going to run back to the exit now. I'm going to beeline. You can see we got our ukulele making little sparks arc off of the enemies. that's good damage for us. Anytime you have something that does damage, different damage types multiply off of each other. So it's good to have many different damage types. Having the same one over and over again is additive, so it makes it add up a little bit, but it's not nearly as good as having a multiplicative modifier to your damage. So I would say try to make a big variety of items, on especially damage items. No matter what they are, every little bit will make the other ones more powerful. This is okay for us. We do a lot of crit damage because we have guaranteed crits from behind. So whenever we heal, whenever we crit, we're gonna get a heal. This guy has become super easy. You want to go behind him, stealth, shoot him in the back with everything you got, and he takes forever to turn around. So just keep shooting him in the back if you can, and he will die pretty quick. Yeah, pretty easy for Bandit. I found that Bandit has a really easy time taking down bosses, but he'll struggle whenever the enemies become overwhelming hordes. Hopefully though, by that time you have enough items to balance out. Like for example, I like to go for builds where enemies do damage or explode when they die, because then they'll do cascading damage to the other enemies, and if there's any low health enemies nearby them, they will also explode and die, just continuing the cascade. Will-o'-the-wisp can be a good item for that, as can gasoline, as can, of course, Kajaro's band and Runald's band are both, they do damage not on kill, but on burst. It still kind of has a good effect at helping to boost those other on-kill effects though, because those bands, the little tornadoes that they summon, it's either an ice tornado or a fire tornado. They really do a lot of extra collateral damage to the enemies, which helps chew them down. And if you get it on bosses, you'll see the difference it makes just watching their life bar melt from having one of those tornadoes appear on them. We don't really have anything to trade at that lunar market because we need all of our items to complete this, so we're going to drop and then pop stealth right before we hit the ground so that we don't take any fall damage. I'm going to run up here. If you drop down to this ledge specifically, the one that I landed on, you'll come right to the entrance of the void fields. We'll find him at the bottom. This is also how you unlock the secret character Acrid. If you need him, you go to the void fields and complete all 9 trials. But even after you've done it, you can keep going to these over and over again anytime you want to get a new shrine or the lunar market opens. You can drop down to this level. Time will freeze while you're in the void field, so you don't have to worry about the clock going up. See, when I activate the event, the clock stops going, so I just activated it as soon as possible. One thing about the void fields is the enemies get items as you go, so it'll become harder. I'm kind of worried about these guys because they just appear in the sky and they look dark already, so it's hard to see them against the outline of the dark sky. But if they get something like 5 stacks of bleed or something like that, it's gonna really hurt. So I don't mind these guys. They're not the worst enemy. They're fragile and easy to kill, but they have a strong attack and they're hard to see. The enemies you get on the void fields are random, but they get harder the longer the game goes or the more you let the difficulty climb up by advancing your levels. So you don't want to do it on like stage 3 or 4. I mean, you can. Maybe you're a Billy Badass and you could survive this, but it'll become significantly harder, and with the added damage of the miasma, like if I walk out here, I'm taking damage. If I get knocked off the edge, I'll respawn back up top, but I'll be taking damage. And the fact that I have to take damage anyway, like right now as I run between the stages, you just want to minimize that as much as possible. You're already having to survive between shrines. I'm going to stand still while this builds up, but I'm going to look up and make sure those birds aren't appearing over my head. Yep, here they go. They have 5 health kits. That's really sucks. It's not the worst thing, but if you don't kill them right away, they're going to get a huge burst of healing, and it's going to be like you never shot them at all. See that guy got a big burst because I didn't finish him? We need to stand still so that we'll heal up. Got these double fungi. We better take advantage of them. So we got another enemy appearing right here. We just want to make sure to finish him. I really hope they don't get armor because that's going to be it's going to make it really hard because they're going to absorb most of your hits from the armor and then they'll just heal back with the med kit. So we'll see. Last game I had them, they had 5 stacks of bleed, and like they would hit me for a tiny amount of damage, but then I would bleed almost to death. So you really have to be careful for the items. I'm gonna go ahead and get this just because it's on the way and we have a bunch of health. We're not worried, but typically I would recommend don't mess with any of this stuff that's out in the miasma until you've completed the void trials, because you're gonna die out here trying to get this stuff done. And I guess I've been slightly mistaken. The clock does advance a little bit, but it stops when you're doing the event. So like I noticed while I was running between stages, the clock started going again. I thought it just stopped while you were doing the void fields, but it only stops while you're doing these events. So be careful for that. Like it was only like 6:30 or something when we came in here, and we've advanced the clock by a minute. That's still better than it just running the whole time, but you should have so many items by the time you come out of this that it'll compensate, you know, for the boost of enemies scaling with the clock. The clock is not really what makes the enemies the hardest. The thing that makes it the hardest is when you start the teleporter event and advance the stage. Everything, the difficulty of everything increases automatically when you do that. So I would just say, we don't have equipment. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I would just say don't do it on stages 3 or 4 as a rule of thumb, because it's going to be harder. The enemies are going to be stronger. They're going to be much more likely to knock you out of this safe zone, and much more likely to kill you while you have to stand in this confined space. If all of your enemies are these big, strong, monstrous behemoths with, you know, who knows what items they're going to get. Right now they have 5 bleed, these items, so we don't want to get hit by anything. This is a dangerous, dangerous run on the void fields. These guys are going to be the biggest culprits because they have such a obtuse angle of attack. It's hard to see them, and they appear out of nowhere. I do have, I stepped out into the void to get this item, which is great. You can see when I took damage from that once, it really hurt me because of the bleed. This, what is it called? We'll take a look at the inventory. It's called a primordial cube, but it basically creates a black hole that draws all the swarms into one big heap, so you can fire away on them. I'm just going to ignore these guys because we're at 98% on this event, and they just die automatically once that happens. So we got lucky. We see our next event is right over here. This has been super lucky for all the shrines. They've all been close together, and we've been able to see them all before we finish the last one. So I'm going to buy this soda can. It's going to help me run faster. And then I'm going to start the event. I like this spot because it's an awkward spot. If the enemies spawn uphill, they have to walk a long way to get to us. And we have more cover for flying enemies, so there's only a few places they can actually appear. We already have some good damage. We have gasoline and the ukulele. Ukulele does lightning, and the gasoline does fire damage when they die, so they'll ignite other enemies nearby, I think. Or maybe it's when you hit them. Killing an enemy ignites other nearby enemies. Yeah, there we go. So remember, we're just trying to avoid getting hit. We don't want to bleed for 90% of our health bar, so Stun this guy, get behind him, and finish him with our combo. Alright, we got... I'll take the Chrono Bobble. It'll slow people. You can see the beacons over there. We're going to run to it. If your stealth is up, don't be shy about going ahead and using it. It makes you run faster. It makes enemies lose sight of you so that they'll stop targeting you. It stuns everybody around you when you go into it, and it stuns everybody around you when you come out of it. So my advice is pretty much always use your stealth whenever you can. Like right now I got hit by this guy, so I'm looking up at the sky at somebody else. I'm going to throw my Primordial Cube because I have a bunch of guys up in the air fucking me up and I can't see them, so this will just pull them all together. You can see it's pulling them up into the sky. We have this annoying little mushroom bastard now who's firing like... The thing that's annoying about those guys, they're tough little peons that heal themselves, but they also, their attack is they shoot out an AoE that makes burn damage on the ground in an area. Well, you can see we have a limited area that we can stand in, so if half of it is covered in burning shit, it's going to make things a lot harder to do. So I don't like those guys. We want to get rid of them. Alright, we're taking the missile launcher, and I can see the next event is over here. So I'm just running to it. I'm going to use my jump here. Stealth. Chop, and that way we get all the hops we can out of our stealth ability. There's a ton of equipment I can see to loot on this stage, and we'll get to it as soon as we complete it. We basically have this to go. We complete this, we'll have 2 more. Our enemies are pretty easy on us. These are light enemies, I would say, for us to get at this stage in the game, but we have 5 different varieties already, it looks like. So I'm going to throw the cube. I do not want these guys above me shooting down blades. Get rid of those mushroom guys as fast as possible, or you're going to find your whole area choked up with burning shit on the ground where you can't stand. The Primordial Cube's definitely helping with these guys, pulling them all together, so I'm glad we picked that up. Oh, I'm bad. I missed my revolver shots. Don't be like me, kids. You want to stealth? Shoot this guy. I don't have a cube charge up, but it's okay. We already beat this round. Whew, we'll take another missile launcher. It's good to have more of the same ones if you can. We need to get up that hill. I think the next shrine is... Oh no, it's not. I thought it was up on top of this. But it's really just over here. We'll stealth, chop, and then we're going to get into the event and start it. I'm going to heal up and throw my cube. That way all these dum-dums that appear are going to get pulled into it. I was hoping to catch the bird guys with it, but I threw it too early. We're waiting, we're at 48%. We do have a lot of flying enemies. We have the wisps, I guess not, we only have 2, we don't have a lot. It's wisps and the vultures. They are one of the races that was brought to this planet by... what's the name of the guy? Providence. Providence is the boss of the first game, so he's already been killed by the time you get to Risk of Rain 2. The boss of this game is his brother Mithrix, who has been imprisoned on the moon. We want the Stealth War Kit because it gives us a shield and makes us invisible whenever we get to low health. So that could save us. Definitely want to take every advantage we can right now. Open this money, stand here for a second. We'll be at 10 minutes on stage 2, which if you weren't coming back with a bunch of items, that would probably be way too long to start stage 2. About almost double the time you want to spend. You know, that's not a hard rule, 5 minutes per level, but it's a good rule to sort of pace yourself by, right? Like if you have 5 or 6 items at 5 minutes, you might want to think about running to the exit just to keep the difficulty manageable. Some people like to full loot the level no matter what. I'm more in the camp of looting is better because advancing the difficulty is going to scale the game anyway. So if you don't get stronger, you're not going to be able to keep up with the enemies. That's just how it is. You need stuff. You need Christmas presents to keep up with the Joneses. Alright, we got this. And that was our last event. I'm taking this. Reduce the armor of enemies repeatedly, or after repeatedly striking them. I wasn't sure what that item was, but I had a hunch that it was a good one that I've picked up before, so I just wanted to give it a shot. We're happy with the cube, the primordial cube, but I did see that there was like 5 pieces of equipment on the ground as we ran around these fields trying to complete the challenge. So what I want to do... Oh, and the clock stops after you complete the event, so it's not going anymore, even though it was running while we were between events. Once you complete it, you can sort of run around to your heart's content and just pick up all the cool stuff that you saw laying on the ground while you were busy trying to stay alive. I don't know what that really does. I've tried to use it before, the eccentric vase. I think it makes a gate. It like connects 2 points in time and does something, but I couldn't figure out what it did, so I just don't pick that item up anymore. I'd much rather have this primordial cube. I'm taking this because it'll heal us. It heals on command, and we have like 3 charges of it. So we can just heal, heal, heal. I mean, we shouldn't die unless we're just playing bad. So, experiencing a little bit of lag, so I really hope and pray that the fucking stream isn't crashing right now, and that when I get back to it... Ooh, this is a great item. 2 extra charges to your utility skill. So this is our stealth. That means it's just going to charge up. We're basically always going to be able to be in stealth. So there's really no excuse for it right now. Let me pick up the rest of the items before I start using the recycler, though. Fuel cell gives us even more charges on our heal. This might be the run. We're pretty damn strong in this run. See if I can get back up to the top of the hill and see what's up here. I think we got a lot of it. More of this. That's fine with me. We're gonna throw it all in the trash. I can see a bunch of items right here, so I just want to make sure I get them all. I'm gonna go with the crit. It's always a good item, but it's slightly less good on Bandit just because he has a way to get guaranteed critical hits already. However, you won't always be able to get behind people, and a lot of times you're going to be shooting people right in front of you. So it is still useful. It's just not as useful. I'm getting rid of this. I have 5 scrap now. Do I have anything else that I don't really want all that much? No, the rest of it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to make a quick sweep to check out all these 3D printers that are on the map and make sure I don't... I could dump 5 of these in here and get a bunch of tougher times to block. And that could be pretty cool. I'm already very survivable though. I have some armor plates, I have a bunch of healing, so I think I'm gonna hang on to it in case I find some kind of really busted 3D printer, like damage to bosses, or Paul's goat hoof, or I'm trying to think of some other stuff that would be good on level 1 to get. Level 1 scrap. Those are mainly it. I want to run faster, I want to deal big damage to bosses. I hate leaving that primordial cube because it's such a good item, but I really feel like the heal fruit, the foreign fruit, just gives you a big burst of healing on command when you activate it. We have 4 charges of it, so we're going to try really hard to stay alive. Hang on 1 second. Alright, sorry, I just had to get adjusted a little bit. Alright, we're good for everything here. We've completed this with about as much success as you could ask for. We got 2 red items out of this, and they were really good. We reduce armor on hit, and we get 2 extra charges of our utility skill, which is our stealth. So we're in good shape. I don't have any money, but I do want to go up here and see what this is. I can see some guys down on the ground. I'm just going to farm them a little bit. Try to get a few dollars. I can see some guys coming up behind me. I need 94. And then there's something down there too, so. You can see when I shoot them, they get a little armor debuff times 3. That's pretty great. Not gonna lie, I'll take that all day long. We have enough for this now, and then we can jump down here, use our shiv to break our fall, or our stealth, or both, whatever suits you. See, we are getting a lot of good damage from the ukulele as it arcs between them. We should have enough money to get this now. Oh, 188. I'm completely wrong. Yeah, so it's always annoying when you find a bunch of stuff right at the beginning and you just have no money. And the enemies are trying to be so nice and so polite and give you time to get your bearings rather than overwhelming you. But then you're just broke and you can't buy anything. So you need people to show up so you can kill them for their lunch money. Yeah, we pretty much have infinite uptime on our stealth right now, so I'm just trying to use it as much as possible. When you combine this with the resets, there's almost never a time where we shouldn't have a charge of stealth. So, why are these guys appearing way the fuck over there? Just appear near me so I can kill you. God damn. This fucking shit. There we go. That's a good item. I'm tempted to take it, but I would rather have the healing. You know, sometimes you have to make the choice to eat your vegetables rather than eating pizza again for like the 100th day in a row. But if you don't give a fuck and you just want to have fun, you can pick whatever you want. If you want to go full glass cannon and just try to never get hit, I say more power to you. But the problem is you are going to get hit. Something's going to hit you, and it's going to hurt way worse if you don't have any defensive items. You need at least a couple. Something to help you heal, something to give you armor. Something. We're going to get a crowbar. It's going to help us do big damage to enemies that are above 90% health. You can see we have a few little things down in the water here, bubbling up, some enemies. I still haven't seen where the exit is. Hopefully it won't be that hard to find, but sometimes you have stuff laying down in the water, so you just have to make sure you look close to see the dollar signs appear. That's usually, if you get close enough, your chests will have a dollar sign that appear over them, and that'll give you an indicator that there's something that you can pick up in the water. But see, this level has like waist-high water just by default, so it obscures your vision of a lot of things that are laying on the ground sometimes. We got the exit. We're almost ready to go. I just want to sweep around and make sure there's not like a 3D printer that's really good or something that we can use to dump all this scrap. We got an open chest that we missed on the ground here, so we'll take that. It's pretty good. We have a lot of healing now. A lot. So, if I die, it's 100% my fault. No cheese. The game didn't cheat me. No engagement optimized matchmaking or none of that shit. It's just purely me. That's what I like. That's why I quit a lot of those competitive online games. Because they have cheating built into it as part of the core mechanic. I've already done the void fields, so this is unnecessary to get this newt shrine, newt altar. But if you look right here, sometimes it's hiding under the water, just in case you ever need to find it on this level. This sucks. Throwing it in the recycler as soon as I find one. I don't think we're gonna get anything else item-wise. I do just want to sweep around really quick and make sure I didn't miss the recycler. I feel like we saw one on this stage already. I just don't remember where it was. We can follow the trail of dead bodies to lead us back the way we've already came, and maybe that'll help. Got a good item from this. This is a luck shrine, but we no longer have enough money to do it. It gets more expensive after you do it the first time. And every subsequent time, I guess. What I'm missing. I'm missing the recycler. What if I... Oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. Let's throw this in. Trying to decide if I have anything else I need to throw in here, but all these fucking guys keep appearing and distracting me, so I can't pay that close attention. I'm just gonna stealth every time these guys get unstunned, because I can stun them 3 or 4 times in a row. There we go, with all these charges on my utility skill. Alright, let's go to the exit. Where is it? I'm missing it. We found it already. I know we've run past it already. Okay, so we used up all that luck shrine. We got 2 items out of it, so that's good. That's the most you can get. Man, where is this thing? I know I already ran into it, so where the hell is it? Okay, it's back here. So it's a little bit harder to see back here. Even if you were... Oh no, I was just looking in the wrong place. That guy's donezo. We got rid of him super quick just by... It's hard to tell where the back and front of an enemy is. But you can usually tell by which direction they're firing. So whatever direction their attack is coming out of, the opposite of that is their back, and you can sort of use that as a way to get behind them and land your critical hits. Don't take shit from this guy, especially when you have 4 charges on your utility skill. You can just press shift and dodge out of everything that he does. He should never be able to hit you if you have this many charges on your utility skill. I think this fucking guy even knows what planet he's on. If you were hearing some banging or some rattling, sorry about that. My keyboard was at a weird angle and was lifting up off the table whenever I pressed certain things, so hopefully that's fixed now. Really got a lot of hopes for this stream. I hope it's working. I hope it didn't stop, and I hope I didn't lose the first hour of it. I guess we'll see after it's done, but either way, I appreciate you watching along, leaving a comment, saying something in the chat, whatever you want to do to just contribute. I am super thankful for that. Any engagement at all helps people. I'm not really trying to become a big famous Risk of Rain 2 streamer, but I mean, it is what I'm doing with my free time right now, and I would like to grow my channel and get more attention on my art, my cartoons, my videos, which are all featured pretty prominently. If you just go to my channel, you can check them out with these. Got some videos on Superman, Spider-Man, Batman. Those were kind of when I was starting out. I was trying to do sort of informational comics on things that I enjoyed drawing. I love superheroes and all that, so I knew I could have a fun time drawing them, so I made a couple of 30-minute videos just giving people the breakdown on those characters if they're not already familiar with them. I don't know what planet you've been living on, because they're pretty much big mainstream cultural icons, at least in the West. If you're not from the West, still super happy you're hanging out with me and watching my stream. Thank you for coming by. Ooh, I missed everything right there. I'm gonna take this so I can run faster. I like to go fast like Sonic Hedgehog, so I'm just gonna keep stacking the speed. You can see this big bumbling brute running up on me to try and cause some trouble in my neighborhood. So I'm just gonna farm him for money so I can go buy this Christmas present. Hey, we're stealthing. We're stealthing. It does a bunch of damage. You see how we have kind of a stealth hop now that we have so many? Like, I'll show you what I mean. Like, I can start running in stealth, and then stealth, and then stealth, and then cancel it. Get a lot of jumps out of that. And it uses all your charges, so you're gonna have to wait a minute for them to charge back up, but still a pretty cool option to have if we need to use it, so I'm not gonna complain. Alright, looks like we got everything from around here, sorta, kinda. Nope, we missed a few things. Decent. Not as good as the fruit. It also heals us, the supermassive leech, but we have to be doing damage, whereas the fruit just gives you a burst of healing. You don't have to do shit except press the button. So I say keep the foreign fruit if you have the choice. Pretty good, pretty good. More items back here, so I'm glad we didn't just run. You need to get behind this guy, though. He's kind of not a threat to us right now because we have so many stealths. We can just keep stunning him and getting behind him. I like having these missiles. I have 3 of them that we found. Oh, shit. But they basically will fly out randomly when we do attacks. Ooh. I can give the heal fruit to this thing. I probably shouldn't have done that, but now I have a heal and a massive leech. The supermassive leech I should have given to the equipment because it doesn't matter when it uses that robot. I'm almost always doing damage, so it would help us either way. But with the heal, I really would rather have that on command. And see, I should have waited because now I could have given the robot this thing, the missile launcher. So I'll just skip having the heal altogether. I love the missile launcher just because it does so much damage, and if you have 4 charges of it, man, you're gonna see we'll have a pretty easy time just spamming the boss with missiles. Found a lot of good stuff on this stage. I'm happy with this. I still need to dump my scrap into some kind of 3D printer. I haven't found one that I like yet, but we have enough scrap, that common scrap that is, level 1 items, that we could potentially get something really good. Oh man, we have more missiles now. We have even greater chance to fire a missile. 5 of these, 4 of these. So that's really cool. That's going to help us shoot more missiles out. It might be when we do a high burst of damage, I'm not sure. Go ahead and take this, it's okay. Didn't give us anything that time, we'll go ahead and take it again. The only reason I'm wasting money here on this is because we have it to waste. These guys keep appearing, so we're not getting shit off of this. I'm pissing too much of my money away. We'll just leave it. You don't have to get every single charge out of your, what do you call them? You don't have access to this part of the continent? For real? I guess because they don't need it since this appeared right here. We'll go ahead and do it. Alright, we got the clay Doomstrider, so I'm going to stealth, get behind him, shoot him a bunch, and then missile. And missile, and missile, and missile. We just missiled him 4 times. He's dead. He's nuked to death. Nobody can live through 5 missile barrages, so we got him. I think what we're probably going to do on this run is try to beat Mithrix. I feel pretty confident. So we're just going to do our best and try to beat him on Monsoon. That'll give us an unlock for Bandit. That'll give us an achievement for beating the game on Monsoon. You see our charges slowly build up. We have so many charges of the missile launcher because we have 3 fuel cells, which gives you an extra charge on your equipment. I'm still raising this damn keyboard up off of the fucking platform, so I'm sorry about that. I know it's picking up on the mic, because all my mouse clicks and every fucking thing else picks up on the mic, but I appreciate you bearing with me. I don't know how people feel about this stage. My feelings are I don't like it because there's a ton of things that'll just kill me and end my run. But there is a guaranteed red item on this level somewhere. Sometimes it's here, but we can tell it's not right here this time because there's no glowing mushrooms. The glowing mushrooms will indicate to you exactly where the item might be. Just gonna go ahead and missile this guy because he does a lot of damage and I want to kill him as soon as possible. Let's see, we have a Stone Titan up here. He was a boss, but now he's just a regular old enemy. We're gonna missile him, so we still have a bunch of charges. And he is fucking donezo. So this build is feeling really strong on this run. Sometimes the secret chest is up here at the top of this big tree in the middle, but there's no mushrooms here. So you can see it's not here. There's one other place we can look. Let's see. It's going to be up this way. Ah, see the mushrooms right here? That's indicating to us that the chest that we want is nearby. These glowing mushrooms. Ah, so here it is. We need almost 5 grand to get it. So now what I'm going to do is look for the exit and try to start it, because I'm almost certain that we're going to make 5 grand just by fighting the teleporter event. Here's what I'm going to do. Stealth, stun all these guys, and try to burst them down, so that they're not just standing around blasting you with a stupid ass beam that pushes you way too far. And where's the exit? I need the exit. I'm not seeing it, but I need it. I want it. Where is it? It's hidden somewhere. I have a hunch. Stealth, get behind this guy, light him up. I have a hunchback of Notre Dame. This level has like an extremely low area on the map. So I was thinking maybe the teleporter exit is down here somewhere. I don't think there's any secrets down here that I know of. There's a newt shrine if you need it, but I wouldn't do it on this stage. It's kind of too late. There's a Dune Strider just hiding down here in the dark. That guy's going to become a problem later. Especially now that I've gotten his attention. I thought maybe the exit was down here, but it doesn't look like it, so... Ah, over here. Here we go. Alright, we're going to start it up. Two stone titans. This is easy mode. Go behind them. Shoot them. Press your missile launcher. Keep shooting them. 1 down. Stealth. Get behind them. 2 down. Missile launcher for this Lemurian. This Elder Lemurian. All the big bad guys are done. That's why I like this equipment. We do pretty good bursts. We're killing all these guys with 1 shot of our revolver, really, so that's what you want, because the revolver just resets all your cooldowns. Like, a lot of our stuff basically has infinite cooldowns, because we have the hard light afterburner, which gives us 2 charges of the stealth. We have a bunch of charges on our equipment from the fuel cell. This would also be kind of a dream run for the Artificer as well. So these items can be good in a variety of locations on a variety of survivors. We're in good shape. Anything that gives you extra charges of your abilities so you can just spam them more, I'd say that's a good item. So I have a bunch of guys spawning, and I notice I'm not quite at 5,000 health. They're not going to spawn anymore after this teleporter stops, so I need to try and get as much money out of them as possible. And, oh, here's our old friend, the Clay Dune Strider. Get behind him, fire a bunch, missile him, missile him. You really don't want to be messing around with this dude. He can one-shot kill you. We need some more money. We don't quite have enough, but I still see that there's like a few little guys over here I can farm. Just missile them really quick so that we don't have to deal with it. I think we're still shy about 100. I hear somebody burning. I hear their ticks of burn damage going, so I'm going to run up here and antagonize them. Okay, we should have enough now. So we're going to go back for the guaranteed red item because it's really good, whatever it ends up being. Some are better than others, but you can be pretty sure it's going to be a good one. Just go back to where the glowing mushrooms are. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. So let's see what we got. This is good. I almost picked this unstable Tesla coil over the Warhammer that we got on Void Fields, but now we have both. You can see this Tesla coil. It looks like a mushroom, but what it's doing is shocking nearby enemies every 10 seconds. So I don't have any money left to try these shrines. We're just going to get the hell out of here. Try to get this mic in a little bit better spot where it doesn't picks up my voice more than it picks up the keyboard. Let's see, I don't really quite know where to start looking. What is this? It's a lunar item. I've already unlocked it, so I'm not going to pick it up. So it might just make me wonky and strange and make it harder for me to actually complete the level, so I'm not wasting money on that equipment because I have what I want. I don't think there's anything better that's going to come along that I want more than 5 charges of this missile launcher, so we're just going to save our dollars and save our time. I hear this guy stomping around. He's going to be a never-ending problem, so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of him now. There we go. Here's his friend. We'll do the same thing. And he's down. There's a newt altar if you want to use it. I don't. I've already been to the void fields. So, alright. Here's what we're going to do. This seems kind of dumb. I have 4 crowbars. I could have 9. But I want to make sure there's not another super good 3D printer. Let me open this just to see what it is. No thanks. We'll go ahead and take drones now are okay because we've already completed the void field, so the only reason I don't take them before is because the miasma kills them. Oh, sorry for the wonky running. I'm adjusting on the fly here. Yeah, we got another crowbar, so maybe it's good that I didn't dump all the scrap in there, but if we don't find a 3D printer before we leave this stage that has something we want, we're going to go dump all that scrap into that crowbar thing. That way, at least when we shoot somebody above 90% health, they'll take a huge chunk of damage. There's our gate right there, so we can keep that in mind and sort of farm around it for the meantime. We don't need a ton of items, but generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, I would advise you to full farm this level because there's more stuff in general to pick up on levels 3 and 4 than there are on levels 1 and 2. But especially on level 4. This is right before you go fight the boss, so I feel like maybe they try to be generous and give you as much chance as you can to pad out your build before you go into the final challenge. This is a good item, just gives us bonus boss damage. I'll take it all day. We're going to, whenever we get the money, by killing all these guys. It's very nice of them to show up and to donate their lives to the cause. We're going to get another missile launcher. Now we have 5, so there's even more chances that our normal damaging attacks are just going to fire missiles at people. And we'll stack that out, combo with the 4 missile launchers that we already have. Alright, I think I found everything that I'm going to find. I'll double check this way. I don't think I spent a lot of time on this side of the map. What the fuck is this? Oh, that's the lunar item that I left on the ground. Thought maybe it was like a special event or something. Got some enemies there taking damage, but there's nothing really up here, so you can see this was kind of a waste of time. We have a bunch of money, so I'm just going to spam it out on this real quick. was worth it. We got 2 items and they were both excellent. Okay, normally we could... Ugh! Why did I do this? Okay, I'm just going to fall. There's nothing I can do about it. That's the thing that's kind of dangerous about running fast. I skipped way too far out of bounds and just ended up flying off the edge. Normally, you can, when this is red, you can press E and it'll align the columns to loop your game. We're just going to activate the teleporter as normal so we can try and beat this game on Monsoon. I have a bunch of guys in the sky, so I'm spamming every charge that I have of this missile launcher, and the boss is dead. Instead of 1 boss, we had like 5 greater whisks or something like that. I really don't want to deal with those guys one-shotting us, and I don't have to because I have 5 charges of missile launcher, so... Sayonara, suckers. Even now, I have 2 charges built back up. The missile launcher has a relatively short cooldown as well, so it'll build up all of its stuff faster. It'll recharge its cooldown faster. That's why I would, if I had like 3 or 4 fuel cells, I would always take this over the Prion accumulator, just because you're going to get way more mileage out of having 5 charges of the missile launcher. That's my personal opinion. The missile launcher seeks out enemies. It homes in on them. Even if you can't see them, the missiles can see them. And the BFG is like a, or the Prion accumulator, I call it the BFG. It's a slow firing item that the projectile also travels slowly. So just go ahead and do some missile damage to this guy. Otherwise he's going to kill us with his dumb bullshit move. Alright, so here we go. On the, oh no! What the fuck? I had activated the teleporter to go to the last level and something just wrecked me while I was waiting to teleport. God damn it, that sucks. That's just a fucking stupid rookie mistake. Let's go see what we unlocked. I'm completely demoralized now. We got the Warhorn. Activating your equipment gives you 70% attack speed for 8 seconds. So that would be pretty good for us, since we had like 5 stacks on our equipment. I had the